So in an effort to bring about some more varied Pokemon content to the channel, I decided I want to partake in an avenue of Pokemon that I hadn't actually done much of growing up, which is kind of weird, I guess. Most hardcore fans have done a little bit of this, if not a whole lot, but it's to actually partake in the anime. I have watched it sporadically growing up, but I was never really allowed to partake in the anime, which is weird because I was allowed to play the games, but just not watch the show. But regardless, I'm now much older, and I do have the ability to watch pretty much everything to the best of my ability, at least. So that's something I kind of wanted to do, was to give my thoughts and opinions of the show, at least from the point of view of someone that has mostly only played the games. You know, see what Ash has done all throughout, and give my thoughts on his fights and blah blah blah, and highlight some key points and some episodes I really enjoyed watching all throughout, and also watch some of the movies that I've missed. I've also watched some, but not a whole lot. You know, just see where everything goes from there. I also do intend on watching Pokemon Generations as well, rewatch them at least. I know I watched them all, but you know, take a second look at them and still give my opinions on it all. And well, it'll be consistent content, but it will take some time to at least watch everything. I've already gone through quite a bit of the Indigo League, at least of now. I do intend on at least getting that out sometime before the new year begins, but regardless, at least for today's video, as you can see by the title, the first content that I just wanted to do was to take a look at Ash's recent outing on the movie scene, and that is Pokemon The Power of Us, or more specifically, Pokemon the movie The Power of Us. Why? I have no sweet clue, but let's take a look at that today, shall we? Let's get right into it. So in an effort to maintain this secondary continuity that Pokemon has started with the last movie with I Choose You, we have Ash and Pikachu traveling to Fulla City, which is absolutely has to be somewhere in Johto, because the only Pokemon to show up are Kanto and Johto Pokemon, save for a Lurantis and Zeraora, technically? Anyways, he travels to Fulla City to partake in the Wind Festival that the people always party with annually to celebrate Lugia, bring in the wind to the city because it's all powered by wind, and a whole bunch of other stuff about the land and such. Except that during the festival, some incredible circumstances actually threaten the lives of the people living in Fulla City and threaten the festival as well. And of course, Ash must team up with a whole bunch of locals and other such people to help try and save the day. And yeah, I kind of went through the plot there pretty quick, but that's just kind of because it's a really simple plot, really simple story. But at the very least, though, you can't quite call this movie an Ash movie at the very least. The last one definitely was, but this one is much more of an ensemble film. You have Ash, of course, who's just going there to have fun, but then you have also Risa, who goes to the festival to catch an Eevee for her injured brother. You have Callahan, who is very much a compulsive liar, but he does so in an attempt to make himself look better to his niece. Margot, who's the mayor's daughter and has also been able to make contact with the legendary Zeraora for varying reasons. Torin, who is an extremely timid but incredibly smart scientist living in the area. And Harriet, an old lady who hates dealing with Pokemon. Everyone gets their time to shine and have their backgrounds all fleshed out and explored and whatever. You learn a whole lot about them, though I tend to find that the focus on each character is heavily sporadic. I guess it kind of comes with the nature of having such a large ensemble of characters, but I felt like that there was different points where the movie almost forgets that a character exists until it's like, oh right, we have this character doing something, better bring them back into this. I know I kind of contradicted it, but it's still something that I noticed all throughout, was that, you know, some characters do disappear for a while. But that's not to say that the plot was anything interesting because of the large ensemble. In fact, there was quite a few cliches going all throughout, and quite a few groaner moments all throughout, and it's just kind of made you chuckle. But I guess it's kind of funny to note that I did chuckle regardless. And if a movie can still have heavy cliches and still make you smile in some regard, it's doing something right, even if it's just not like top tier. Now, I don't want to heavily criticize the animation all that much, since it'd be very hypocritical of me to do so, since I can barely draw stick figures. But it is important to note that, at least to my perspective, these are the kind of anime character models that I enjoy. I've watched some anime that I might have been able to get more into, but it's just like with the designs of the characters, it just took me like right out. And it's purely subjective, I know, of course, but to me, I do like these ones a lot. Of course, saying that, this is definitely my absolute favorite model of Ash, his favorite character design, period. And I know that will probably bug some original character model Ash fans, but I really do dig his model. And not to downgrade anyone else, Risa, I really liked her character model, and even Torin, I kind of liked his, even though it was very simplistic. And just everything else about it, like the animation quality was so beautiful to look at. That being said, though, there was some CG being used throughout the film that I really noticed, and not in a good way. The CG usage in this movie is pretty bad. And most of the action set pieces that happened in this film were very minimal and very lackluster. Very few battles in general, and it kind of makes sense in some regard, since it's more of a character-driven film rather than just like hard pounding action. Just, I get it. It does kind of remind me a little bit of Detective Pikachu in that sense, since like the battles aren't like the sole focus of this film. Just that with, at least with this one, there are still trainers and Pokeballs and other such things. But it would have been nice to kind of get a little bit more, and part of that is because there's really no true antagonist of this film. Team Rocket kind of shows up, but no one really combats them. There are some like Pokemon hunters in the film, but they're literally just like pushed in and pushed right back out of this film. No, the biggest antagonist of the film is more or less just like a natural disaster type of thing going on. And so it's really hard to kind of combat such a thing. And they tried to use their aura as kind of a proxy to use for that. But I don't know. It wasn't like overtly exciting to watch. There was a little bit, but I don't know. I would have preferred to have seen some more fights, I guess. And finally, some side notes. So I got them here. There was a remix of Route 1's theme at the opening of the movie, and it just sounded super nice. But also the ending credits theme was absolutely beautiful. I don't know what it was called, but man, it was mesmerizing. There was a Typhlosion in the film, so spoilers, but Harriet's hiccup with dealing with Pokemon was because of her Snubbull died in a fire at the Wind Factory facility trying to get the key to her. Now, Snubbulls are one of the cutest, ugliest Pokemon to have ever existed. And with that being said, when it got lost in the fire, I got kind of sad, but then I giggled, and then I got mad at myself for giggling at such a sad thing. It was partially because of like the cries it was making. God damn it, I'm trying to not to laugh thinking about it right now, but it's such a weird thing. And I get it. Pokemon can still have like dark tones to it, but it's just so weird to see it sometimes. And god damn it, I wish maybe it was just like silent with background noise, but anywho. And of course, like I said, Team Rocket was there and they were basically the ones that kind of started the chain reaction for the film's major events, I suppose. Obviously I said that, but I wanted to bring it up because Jessie got a sort of redesign. I don't know, but I kind of preferred like her original stuff, longer gloves, sleeves, and all that stuff. Her thing looks really weird. The concept behind Torin's science was actually really neat. They were exploring like Pokemon's abilities, but in a more physical manifestation of it, and allowing it to try to use it to basically be like medicine for humans as well in some regard. It was kind of neat. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to see some sort of new science being involved. And that's basically it. It was short, it was cute, except for the dime Snubble. But what'd be interesting though is that I wish that I could see Ash go with more than just Pikachu in this secondary timeline, even though I guess it would mean having to actually establish some sort of plot line throughout the secondary timeline. But anywho, I don't know if they'll ever do it. It'd be nice. Maybe they could do it with the Sword and Shield anime, but I highly doubt it. But regardless, I'm happy I watched it. It was good enough to at least been something I could watch. And you too can watch this movie on Blu-ray wherever you might be able to find it. And now I'm starting to sound like I'm peddling this thing, so anywho, I'm gonna thank you all so much for watching. Expect some more anime stuff coming up eventually. But if you like what you saw, maybe click right up here to watch something else that I've done. Or if you really feel like it, you can click right up here to subscribe. Until next time, guys, I will see you all later.